But as far as Kobe as a ball player, his skill set, I mean, there aren't many that I can think of off the top of my head.
There's nobody.
There's not many that I can think about off the top of my head that I'm like, okay, he got a better skill set than Bryant. There's not many that I can say, yo, he's a better basketball player than Bryant. No, there's not many that he wasn't better than Jordan. I can tell you that right now. No, he wasn't.
We're about to have that discussion too.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I'm definitely
There's
down.
Nobody
He
on
wasn't
this
better
planet
than
Earth.
James, Jordan, all of them dudes. He wasn't better than them dudes.
The reason why I'm with you with this, a cop out between greater and better, but that is a reality. And at the end of the day, when it comes to greater, that goes into like statistics, which can be, it's a lot of things that go into that. Playing time, even referees, where you play at, it's too circumstantial. But better, if we saying that Kobe is 1A of Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan is your man, Michael Jordan is my man, but he's an evolved species of Michael Jordan. There's no
like a better version of Jordan, you think?
Yes, yes, because of the era. Number one, the era that he played in, because he was in between both this current era and the Jordan era as well. But he could shoot, he could dribble, he could play defense. He was bigger. He could use reverse pivots on both sides and a regular pivot on both sides. Jordan could only use that left pivot on the right side. He could only play on the right side with certain moves. Kobe could do everything. He could pass. And I'm talking about better, not greater, because to define greater is too many circumstances in that with stats and all analytics and all this bullshit.
We're just talking straight. Step on the court, put your shoes on, let's rock. That's what we talking
because about. We talking about a man who was at the Rucker. We ain't never seen Jordan at no damn Rucker.
No, we didn't.
We talking about a man who was at the Drew.
Mm-hmm.
We talking about a man who was really, like, before we even got on, was talking about who was really outside.
Right.
Like, you take all these analytics and all this bullshit championships out the equation.
Yep.
Kobe is cooking Mike.
So with that, with everything that you just said, let's rewind back to like dudes being outside. I mean, Jay, he played with the Bulls for all of those years, and Jay wasn't like just in North Carolina. He was outside too. He was in Chicago. And Chicago is one of the best basketball cities in America. So
in America, absolutely.
Jay was not hard to find. So with Kobe being at the Rucker, Jay was in Chicago with Terry Cummins, right? With Mark Aguirre. He was with all of them dudes. He came outside. And we talk about footwork. When Jay moved his game to the block, even though he was already awesome on the block even when he was younger, but when he moved his game to the box as he got older, his footwork got even better. I feel like that compounds how good he was. When you talk about a guy who, quote unquote, couldn't go left, when he evolved his game and when he improved his game to go left, how much better he was as a mid-range jump shooter and how that advanced his game. Yes, Jordan.
He never had to go left.
Oh, he absolutely had to go left.
Just hard pull up, left pull up. That's it.
But that's the difference. He did go left on the regular against them Detroit Pistons teams when he was getting to the rim, when he was doing the same thing against them Cleveland teams. But when we talk about Kobe Bryant's game, I think Kobe from a skill set, I think he was fantastic. But all of the stuff that he got from the originator. And the duplicate is not better than the originator. So everything that the duplicator did, he got it from the originator, which wasn't as good. The footwork, the athleticism, the jump shot, the finishing at the rim.
So your definition is basically saying a computer isn't better than a typewriter.
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that at all.
That's what I mean.
I'm not saying that at all. Windows 98 is not the same as Microsoft. No, but here's the difference. Bryant is not the advanced version of Jordan. No, he is. No, I wish I could say that, but he's not.
Because we know, look, especially as OGs in the basketball world.
Sure.
We know how important footwork is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we can either be mythical about Jordan or we're gonna be honest. He could only use his pivot feet one way on one side of the court.
I don't know if that's true. No, because
it's my respect. Now, to let everybody know,
right?
I'm currently the NBA director of the NBA schools in Portugal. It is my job. Mm-hmm. That's why part of the reason why I'm in London, because I'll be at the NBA offices. It is my job to look at this shit. It's my job.
Sure. And again, you talking to the original Jay Lover, right? So I can tell you whatever you want to know about Jay, whatever you need to know about
because
Jay.
I've never seen this man switch his pivot and go downhill left and dunk on nobody. But I have seen Kobe do that.
To be honest with you, I actually seen him do it live and in person. 1987. I'm in the building. They playing against the New Jersey Nets.
When he probably had to bail out and he got stuck?
No, he didn't have to bail out. I actually was in the building. 1987. They playing the New Jersey Nets in the Brendan Byrne Arena. He catches the ball on the right side of the wing, swings through. Like we seen Jordan all the time with that jab and go, that jab and go, that jab one way and then go the other way, 2 dribbles with the weak hand and then punches it on Bernard King's brother. So he was doing that sort of stuff. Even when he would get the ball on the wing, open pivot and his pivot foot was with his left foot and go right. But he did the same thing on the right wing where he open pivot with his right foot and go left and shoot a pull up 14-footer. Not just shoot a pull up 14-footer, head fake, step through. That's also footwork. When you talk about Jay being on the box, like where do you get that? Where do we get that James Worthy spin as soon as he gets the ball? He got that from Jay. That was Jay, and Jay didn't just do that on the right block. He did it on the left block. That's also footwork. When you talk about footwork, you can't be 35. You can't be 30 a game. You can't be that good, and you only shooting jump shots. Your footwork has to be impeccable. And when you talk about Jordan's footwork was incredible.
So what edges this out is the eras, because Kobe was in between eras. So you're talking about, I'm not taking nothing away from Bernard King, Clyde, none of these people, but they aren't Steph Curry. They aren't KD. They aren't like
Tim Duncan. I can get with that, right?
Yeah. So Kobe was in that era, and he had ultimate success in these eras. Jordan, I'm sorry, is not checking Steph Curry full court.
Neither is Kobe Bryant.
He is. It's film on this. It is. It is. It's film on him checking Steph Curry, KD.
Okay, so I did see him checking Steph Curry full court.
Kyrie.
Okay. This is in like year 3, and I see him
checking Kyrie.
Yeah, and I seen him ball hawking. I mean, I also saw Jordan. I also saw Jordan ball hawking guys. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm not saying that Mookie Blaylock is Steph Curry. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm not saying that Mookie Blaylock. But what I am saying is that Jordan could cover full court. He could absolutely cover full court. Now, who is slowing anybody down full court? If we're being honest, Bryant's not doing that.
He is.
No,
he did it.
He's not doing that. He'll get Curry off the ball, and then Curry will get the ball back.
This for me is giving Jordan homage first and foremost.
Sure.
Right, because he is one of my favorite players as well. But at the end of the day, there is evolution. Kobe was checking him on the ball. Steph Curry off the ball. He checking Kyrie full court. He checking Kevin Durant straight on. Like, to me, in the rankings of players, it is in terms of hoop, not greatness, but just hoop. It is Kobe. Then it is LeBron. Then it is Mike.
I don't think he was better than James.
Because of the times, because of the era. Sure, Mike, I love Mike, but it's just too much. It's just too many shooters, too many skill sets.
Sure.
Too much ability. Like, it's too much. It wasn't that much in Mike era.
I think where the divide is like you mentioned, the computer. You can update the software. You don't have to just leave it there. You can update that software. That software can come into 10 years later, 15 years later. So when you got a guy in Jordan, when you got a guy in James, that's why James stayed around for as long as he did, because he updated his software. Otherwise, he wouldn't have hung around. We've seen guys that fell off a cliff when their athleticism waned, right? When they got older. So a guy like Jordan, as smart as Jordan was, playing for Dean Smith, understanding the fundamentals of the game. That's where Kobe Bryant got that from. Understanding the fundamentals of the game. Jordan being the athlete that he is. James also being the athletes that they are and understanding the fundamentals of the game. That game would translate to the next level. And that game would translate to other eras. I feel like that's what marks a great player. The fact that your game can translate to other eras off the strength that I see what you guys can do, and I can do that too.
So is Mike just not Edwards, but just can't shoot the three?
One more time. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yo, Trey, this is turning into a Jordan bash.
Oh, did he say Jordan? He said Jordan's Edwards.
I'm just trying to spark it up. No, I'm just talking shit. No. But
no, we ain't doing that.
Yeah. But for real, I'm sorry. Like, Michael Jordan is the greatest player ever because of the stats, the attributes, the accomplishments. But in terms of hoop, they're like, I'm sorry, we seen Jordan play, But this man went to the Rutgers. He went to the Drews. He was overseas killing people. He was in the league killing people. He was locking people up in between both eras. He went into the Olympics as a defender, did not care about scoring.
Sure.
He resurrected what we call American basketball now.
Yep.
Like, Kobe is just too much. He was too big. Like, Jordan Max probably was 210.
He played at 215 at his head.
215. So Kobe 230, like them 15 pounds, and you still moving that way is a lot.
I don't know if Bryant was that heavy, but to your point about, I mean, like I said, Jordan played in Chicago. He came outside. Jordan is breaking backboards in like 1986.
But not the Drew. It's not the Drew. West Coasters, Seattle guys. It's not the Drew.
I beg to differ, because them Chicago dudes will definitely tell you that it's ballers in Chicago.
No, I know.
For real.
Look,
and it might not be the Drew League,
know.
But I mean, Jordan is overseas in international games breaking backboards in '86. He's doing that. That's going on. So it's not like Jordan.
You're telling me that period of, let's say, Chicago, Detroit, Midwest basketball equates to
in the '80s
to the Rucker and the Drew this now?
And well, 40 years later, of course it's different, sure. But during that time, Jordan's game during that time, once again, translates. It's not like Jordan's game is just stuck in 1986. No, Jordan was way ahead of his time. Just like James is ahead of his time. That's why I feel like his game would translate to today's game. It's plenty of these dudes that, and you and me had this conversation earlier in the show, where it's plenty of these dudes. The reason why they're getting fried, because they don't take pride.
Absolutely.
They're not really, they're not afraid. They're afraid to get their ass bust.
Right.
And they have options to go away from that, as opposed to not having that, where your game is everything. And I can appreciate Bryant growing up. My game was my reputation. Like sneaker deals was my reputation. Coca-Cola and McDonald's and all that. That's not my game is my reputation. Today, these guys, my reputation is Instagram and Facebook and all that other stuff. So if I get my ass bust, that's jeopardizing who I am as a basketball player and more as an entity. These guys back then took more pride in that. And I feel like guys today, they don't take pride in that. So if Jordan were to come into today's game, I do think that he would take more pride in that.
So in the last 20 minutes, what I heard is how you defending Jordan, but how he's still not better than Kobe.
That's not true. I just gave you everything.
You're still saying he the same, but he better. You still saying he?
No, I'm not saying. Well, first of all, Bryant is not the same. I mean, sure, he patented his game after Jordan. Again, the athlete that Jordan was. I think Jordan was a better athlete than him. I think Jordan was better in the clutch than him. I think Jordan was a better jump shooter than him. I think Jordan was a better finisher at the rim than him. I think Jordan had more creativity than him. All of that stuff matters. And I think Jordan was better than him in all of those aspects.
Right. So Jordan was a better shooter than Kobe Bryant?
I think he was better in the mid-range. I think he was better at the long ball line. I think he was better at the rim.
I think he was better at the long ball line?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
Yep.
Hell
Yes, sir.
Mid-range and around the rim, I'll give it to you. Mid-range, we still going to have a little discussion.
Yeah.
Even at the rim, though.
I don't think it's a discussion in the mid-range, to be honest.
Because Kobe dunking that bitch.
I mean, what we are talking about Jordan, no, Trey.
Jordan dunking that bitch too. But
over big guys.
Jordan, due to his arrogance, gonna do some.
Yes.
Kobe dunking that bitch every time.
And so, whoa. No, he isn't. He's not doing that. I mean, Jordan, on the other hand, sure, Jordan is at the rim with the creativity that he has at the rim, and he's dunking over big guys in the process of getting slammed to the ground, getting back up and coming back to the rim and throwing it over big guys, being able to play through contact. It's not that Bryant didn't play through contact. I feel like Jordan played through a little bit more contact, and I feel like that enhanced his game at the rim, being a better finisher, being the first big guard who revolutionized the game at that position. I just think he was better, man.
You know why I appreciate this argument is because we sitting here comparing Jordan to Kobe. We ain't even talking about nobody else. And that's why
I didn't even bring up James.
That's why he at the top of the list.
I didn't even bring up James.
But before we get to LeBron, because we'll eventually get to LeBron, and that's a couple other names James, that I do want to, because it was just about Brian and Jordan off the strength that they both had similar games. That's why.
Because I threw LeBron in there real quick just to see if anybody. That's why
James is better. LeBron,
because I do want to talk about that heavily.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.